I want to be Canelo.
He doesn't want to be fucking champion. He wants to be a fucking model.
The king of Victorville. Go and check him out on the social media. King Ryan.
Ryan Garcia, born August 8, 1998. There's a difference between fame and greatness. One can be bought, faked, or inherited. The other has to be earned in silence, in sweat, in sacrifice. Ryan Garcia was born into the era where one was easier to get than the other, and he took the easy one. Before he ever stepped foot in a championship ring, Ryan Garcia had already won the internet. He was fast, charismatic, clean-cut, with a left hook made for highlight reels. Instagram loved him. TikTok made him viral. Boxing fans, old and new, thought they were witnessing the birth of a new kind of superstar, one who could bridge generations. A modern-day Oscar de la Hoya with better marketing and even more mainstream crossover appeal. The internet didn't just like Ryan Garcia, it needed him. A young, flashy Mexican-American fighter in a post-Mayweather, post-Pacquiao world? That's a dream come true for a sport starving for global stars. But as the lights got brighter, Ryan got dimmer. From the outside, he had it all. Undefeated record, flashy knockouts, model looks, a massive fan base, yet something deeper was missing. The hunger, the grind, the isolation that turns fighters into legends. And while the internet pushed Ryan toward the throne, he pulled himself further away with every distraction that came with fame. Live stream breakdowns, conspiracy rants, public partying, and long layoffs, boxing never left Ryan behind. He walked away from it. By the time he stepped foot in the ring with Gervonta Davis, the truth was unavoidable. Ryan Garcia was famous, but he wasn't ready. He didn't just lose that fight, he was broken by it. His bounce-back win against Devin Haney could have saved him, except he tested positive for PEDs, turning his redemption arc into another stain. Now, after a full year out, he returns against a beatable opponent in Rolly Romero and still loses. At 25, Ryan Garcia isn't finished, but the story that once was writing itself now looks like a script with the pages out of order. The internet gave him a head start, but Ryan didn't want greatness for himself, not badly enough. And in boxing, if you don't chase greatness, you get chased out of it. Let's talk about how fast it all spiraled and what little hope may still remain. What happened? Let's talk about it. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth. Let's get it, man. Take a minute to like, subscribe, and comment on who I should do next. Ryan Garcia is a Mexican-American boxer from Victorville, California who turned professional at just 17 years old. Early on, he stood out not only for his lightning-quick hands and knockout power, but for his massive social media presence and anomaly in boxing. He signed with Golden Boy Promotions and quickly amassed a string of wins, becoming one of the sport's most talked about young prospects. By the time he was 21, Garcia had built a fan base that rivaled world champions despite not having fought one yet. In January 2021, he'd have his breakout moment, surviving a knockdown to stop Luke Campbell in the 7th round and claim the WBC interim lightweight title. It was supposed to mark his arrival as a true contender, but instead of building momentum, Ryan's career slowed. Injuries, personal issues, and inactivity followed. When he did return, the wins kept coming, but questions about his dedication, defense, and mental focus only grew louder. The internet world was ready for him to take over and become the complete package as a fighter, but there were still growing pains Ryan just had to go through. Stunt number 1, the illusion of stardom.
The only reason Ryan's in this position is because he has a bunch of followers. He likes to hang out with a bunch of fucking TikTokers.
Ryan Garcia was promoted like a champion long before he ever became one. That's not a knock, it's a testament to how well the illusion worked. But illusions fade under pressure, and Ryan's was built on fast hands, fast fame, and a following that often forgot he was still just a prospect. He looked like the future, so he was treated like the present, and that's where the stunt began. Social media made Ryan bigger than boxing. Millions of followers across platforms, brand deals, celebrity shoutouts, even a Gatorade sponsorship before winning a title. It became hard to tell whether he was training to be a boxer or a content creator with gloves. And when you blur those lines, eventually the truth catches up. Garcia's rise was curated. Hand-picked opponents, favorable matchups, and an undefeated record that said next up more than tested and proven. When he finally fought Davis, the difference in levels was undeniable. Ryan was dropped with a body shot that ended the fight in the 7th round. But it wasn't just a loss, it was how out of place he looked, like someone who had spent more time on brand image than ring IQ. After the fight, fans began questioning whether Ryan had ever been as good as advertised. Was he a real contender or just boxing's first influencer? The sad truth is, Ryan's hype wasn't his fault. Boxing needed a new face. He fit the role too perfectly. But no matter how many followers you have, boxing still demands blood, sacrifice, and obsession. And that's where Ryan came up short. He played the star before he earned it, and when it came time to prove he belonged, the game exposed him. The illusion wore off, the questions began, and for the first time, Ryan Garcia looked more famous than dangerous. Stunt number 2, a win that turned into a stain. Ryan Garcia's biggest moment since the Tank Davis loss should have been a full circle redemption arc. When he stepped into the ring with Devin Haney in April 2024, few believed he could win. Haney was the more polished boxer, the disciplined technician, and the reigning WBC super lightweight champion. Garcia, meanwhile, was coming off a tough loss and a reputation for flakiness. But that night, he shocked the world. Garcia dropped Haney 3 times and walked away with a majority decision victory. It wasn't perfect, but it was gritty, explosive, and career-saving. For a moment, it looked like the hype was finally justified. The internet rejoiced. He'd done it. Ryan Garcia had arrived, but the celebration didn't last. Weeks later, news broke that Garcia had tested positive for ostarine, a banned substance used to enhance muscle mass and recovery. His win was overturned to a no contest, then his license was suspended for a year. The comeback he'd been begging for turned into a credibility crisis. Garcia claimed innocence, blaming tainted substances, and pointed fingers at everyone but himself. But to fans and fighters alike, it looked like cheating. No matter how they disliked the Haney brand, it looked like he was in fact dishonest. That fight was supposed to prove he belonged. Instead, it confirmed what critics had been whispering all along, that Ryan couldn't win when the stakes were real unless something was off. It was more than a failed drug test, it was a loss of trust. In the boxing world, reputation is currency, and Garcia's was shredded. He went from being the kid who just shocked Devin Haney to the man who couldn't be trusted in big moments. Even if he didn't knowingly cheat, perception ruled, and the perception said he took shortcuts. He had finally earned his moment, but instead of owning it, he let it slip into infamy. Stunt number 3, fame without the fire. At the heart of Ryan Garcia's stunted growth is a simple truth. He never looked like someone obsessed with being great. Fame, absolutely. He leaned into that with both hands, live streams, fashion deals, red carpets, and viral moments. But when it came to the part of boxing that actually requires isolation, pain, and repetition, Ryan always seemed to be somewhere else. Boxing isn't a sport you can do halfway. It doesn't care how many followers you have or how loud your fan base is online. The moment you lose focus, it humbles you one-on-one in the ring. And Ryan, time and again, looked like someone more interested in being admired than feared. He took long breaks between fights, pulled out of matchups citing mental health struggles, which to his credit brought needed attention to that conversation, but rarely followed it up with the kind of work that proves you're back and locked in. Instead, we saw drinking videos, conspiracy rants, and social media outbursts about everything from Illuminati to how boxing was corrupt. He wasn't just losing fights, he was losing fans, one bizarre headline at a time. And when he finally returned in 2025, the stage was set for redemption again. Times Square, big lights, and Rolly Romero, a winnable fight. But Ryan didn't show up with the urgency of a man who understood what was at stake. He fought like someone trying to shake off ring rust, not someone trying to save his career. He got dropped in the second round and outworked down the stretch, another opportunity wasted, another layer of belief peeled off. The worst part, you can't teach someone to want it. The tools were there, the path was cleared, the audience was waiting, but Ryan Garcia never chased greatness the way greatness demands, and boxing doesn't hand out crowns to part-timers. All in all, Ryan Garcia's story isn't over. He's still young, still talented, and still has one of the most powerful spotlights in boxing. but he's burning through chances at a pace no career can survive for long. What made his rise so captivating is also what made his fall so public. The internet crowned him before the sport could, and when it came to validate that crown, Ryan looked unprepared mentally and physically. He wasn't destroyed by one loss, he was exposed by a pattern of drifting when he should have locked in, of chasing eyes instead of greatness. Still, boxing is the rare sport that forgives. If Ryan can finally shut out the noise, sacrifice the stardom, and become the fighter fans once believed he could be, there's hope. But until then, the spotlight that made him might just be what finishes him. Salute, much respect, but for these reasons, his growth is being stunted. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth, and I'm out.